Thomas Cruise Mapother IV, born July 3, 1962, is an American actor and producer. Personal life. Marriages and relationships. Cruise splits his time between homes in Beverly Hills, California, Clearwater, Florida, and the south of England, where Cruise has lived in various places such as central London, Dulwich, East Grinstead, and Biggin Hill. In the early to mid-1980s, Cruise had relationships with Melissa Gilbert, Rebecca De Mornay, Patty Scialfa, and Cher. Cruise and Mimi Rogers at the 1989 Oscars. Cruise married actress Mimi Rogers on May 9, 1987. They divorced on February 4, 1990. Rogers had grown up in Scientology and was one of its auditors. They met when Cruise became one of her clients. In a 1993 Playboy interview, Rogers discussed her split from Cruise and said that he had been considering becoming a monk, which affected their intimacy. Rogers later retracted the comments and claimed she had been misinterpreted. Rogers received a $4 million divorce settlement. Cruise met his second wife, actress Nicole Kidman, on the set of their film Days of Thunder, 1990. The couple married on December 24, 1990. They adopted two children, Isabella Jane, born 1992, and Connor Anthony, born 1995. On February 5, 2001, the couple's spokesperson announced their separation. Cruise filed for divorce 2 days later, and their marriage was dissolved later that year, with Cruise citing irreconcilable differences. In a 2007 interview with Marie Claire, Kidman noted the incorrect reporting of a miscarriage early in her marriage. It was wrongly reported as miscarriage by everyone who picked up the story. So it's huge news, and it didn't happen. I had a miscarriage at the end of my marriage, but I had an ectopic pregnancy at the beginning of my marriage. Cruise was next romantically linked with Penelope Cruz, his co-star in Vanilla Sky, 2001. Their 3-year relationship ended in 2004. An article in the October 2012 issue of Vanity Fair stated that several sources have said that after the breakup with Cruise, Scientologist leaders launched a secret project to find Cruise a new girlfriend. According to those sources, a series of auditions of Scientologist actresses resulted in a short-lived relationship with Iranian-British actress Nazanin Boniadi, who subsequently left Scientology. Scientology and Cruise's lawyers issued strongly worded denials and threatened to sue, accusing Vanity Fair of shoddy journalism and religious bigotry. Journalist Roger Friedman later reported that he received an email from director and ex-Scientologist Paul Haggis confirming the story. Cruise with his then-wife Katie Holmes in May 2009. In April 2005, Cruise began dating actress Katie Holmes. On April 27 that year, Cruise and Holmes, dubbed Tomcat by the media, made their first public appearance together in Rome. A month later, Cruise publicly declared his love for Holmes on the Oprah Winfrey Show. He jumped on Winfrey's yellow couch and stood there to make the announcement. On October 6, 2005, Cruise and Holmes announced they were expecting a child. In April 2006, their daughter Suri was born. On November 18, Holmes and Cruise were married at the 15th-century Odescalchi Castle in Bracciano, in a Scientologist ceremony attended by many Hollywood stars. Their publicists said the couple had officialized their marriage in Los Angeles the day before the Italian ceremony. There has been widespread speculation that their marriage was arranged by the Church of Scientology. David Miscavige, the head of Scientology, served as Cruise's best man. On June 29, 2012, Holmes filed for divorce from Cruise. On July 9, the couple signed a divorce settlement worked out by their lawyers. New York law requires all divorce documents remain sealed, so the exact terms of the settlement are not publicly available. Cruise stated that ex-wife Katie Holmes divorced him in part to protect the couple's daughter Suri from Scientology, and that Suri is no longer a practicing member of the organization. Litigation. In 1998, Cruise successfully sued the Daily Express, a British tabloid, which alleged that his marriage to Kidman was a sham designed to cover up his homosexuality. In May 2001, Cruise filed a lawsuit against gay porn actor Chad Slater. Slater had told the celebrity magazine Egg Tester that he had been involved in an affair with Cruise. This claim was strongly denied by Cruise, and Slater was ordered to pay $10 million to Cruise in damages after Slater declared he could not afford to defend himself against the suit and would therefore default. Cruise requested a default judgment, and in January 2003, a Los Angeles judge decided against Slater after he admitted that his claims were false. Cruise also sued Bold magazine publisher Michael Davis for $100 million because Davis had alleged that he had video that would prove Cruise was gay. The suit was dropped in exchange for a public statement by Davis that the video was not of Cruise, and that Cruise was heterosexual. In 2006, Cruise sued cybersquatter Jeff Bugga to obtain control of the TomCruise.com domain name. When owned by Bugga, the domain redirected to information about Cruise on Celebrity1000.com. The decision to turn TomCruise.com over to Cruise was handed down by the World Intellectual Property Organization, WIPO, on July 5, 2006. In 2009, magazine editor Michael Davis Sapir filed a suit charging that his phone had been wiretapped at Cruise's behest. That suit was dismissed by a Central Civil West Court judge in Los Angeles on the grounds that the statute of limitations had expired on Sapir's claim that in October 2012, Cruise filed a lawsuit against In Touch and Life and Style magazines for defamation after they claimed Cruise had abandoned his 6-year-old daughter. During deposition, Cruise admitted that he didn't see his daughter for 110 days. The suit was settled the following year. Regarded as a Hollywood icon, he has received various accolades, including an Honorary Palme d'Or and 3 Golden Globe Awards, in addition to nominations for 4 Academy Awards. His films have grossed over $5 billion in North America and over $12 billion worldwide, placing him among the highest-grossing leads in box office history, notably the only actor in the top 10 with no affiliation with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. One of the most bankable stars, Cruise holds the Guinness World Record for the most consecutive $100 million grossing movies, a feat that was achieved during the period of 2012 to 2018. He is consistently one of the world's highest-paid actors. Cruise began acting in the early 1980s and made his breakthrough with leading roles in the comedy Risky Business, 1983, and the action film Top Gun, 1986. Acclaim came with his roles in the dramas The Color of Money, 1986, Rain Man, 1988, and Born on the 4th of July, 1989. For his portrayal of Ron Kovic in the latter, he won a Golden Globe Award and received a nomination for the Academy Award for Best Actor. As a leading Hollywood star in the 1990s, he starred in commercially successful films, including the drama A Few Good Men, 1992, the thriller The Firm, 1993, the horror film Interview with the Vampire, 1994, and the romance Jerry Maguire, 1996. For the latter, he won a Golden Globe Award for Best Actor and received a second Academy Award nomination. Cruise's performance as a motivational speaker in the drama Magnolia, 1999, earned him another Golden Globe Award and a nomination for the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. Cruise established himself as a star of science fiction and action films, often performing his own risky stunts. He has played fictional agent Ethan Hunt in the Mission: Impossible film series since 1996. His other films in the genre include Vanilla Sky, 2001, Minority Report, 2002, The Last Samurai, 2003, Collateral, 2004, War of the Worlds, 2005, Night and Day, 2010, Jack Reacher, 2012, Oblivion, 2013, Edge of Tomorrow, 2014, Jack Reacher, Never Go Back, 2016, and The Mummy, 2017. In 2022, Cruise starred in and produced the action film sequel Top Gun: Maverick, which grossed over $1.4 billion at the box office and became his highest-grossing film. Cruise received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 1986. He was named People's Sexiest Man Alive in 1990 and received the top honor of Most Beautiful People in 1997. He has been married to the actresses Mimi Rogers, Nicole Kidman, and Katie Holmes. He adopted 2 children during his marriage to Kidman and has a biological daughter with Holmes. He is an outspoken advocate for the Church of Scientology, which he credits with helping him overcome dyslexia. Early life and education. Cruise was born on July 3, 1962, in Syracuse, New York, to electrical engineer Thomas Cruise Mapother III, 1934–1984, and special education teacher Mary Lee née Pfeiffer, 1936–2017. His parents were both from Louisville, Kentucky, and had English, German, and Irish ancestry. Cruise has 3 sisters named Leanne, Marion, and Cass. One of his cousins, William Mapother, is also an actor who has appeared alongside Cruise in 5 films. Cruise grew up in near poverty and had a Catholic upbringing. He later described his father as a merchant of chaos, a bully, and a coward who beat his children. He elaborated, "My father was the kind of person where, if something goes wrong, they kick you. It was a great lesson in my life how he'd lull you in, make you feel safe, and then, bang. For me, it was like, there's something wrong with this guy. Don't trust him. Be careful around him. Cruise's biological father died of cancer in 1984. In total, Cruise attended 15 schools in 14 years. Cruise spent part of his childhood in Canada. When his father took a job as a defense consultant with the Canadian Armed Forces, his family moved in late 1971 to Beacon Hill, Ottawa. He attended the new Robert Hopkins Public School for his 4th and 5th grade education. He first became involved in drama in 4th grade, under drama teacher George Steinberg. He and 6 other boys put on an improvised play to music called IT at the Carleton Elementary School Drama Festival. Drama organizer Val Wright was in the audience and later said that the movement and improvisation were excellent, a classic ensemble piece. In 6th grade, Cruise went to Henry Monroe Middle School in Ottawa. That year, his mother left his father, taking Cruise and his sisters back to the United States. In 1978, she married Jack South. Cruise briefly took a Catholic church scholarship and attended the St. Francis Seminary in Cincinnati, Ohio. He aspired to become a Franciscan priest before leaving after a year. Priests at the seminary have said Cruise chose to leave the school when his family relocated again. However, a former classmate said that they were both asked to leave after getting caught taking liquor. 24 to 26 in his senior year of high school, he played football for the varsity team as a linebacker, but was cut from the squad after getting caught drinking beer before a game. He went on to star in the school's production of Guys and Dolls. In 1980, he graduated from Glen Ridge High School in Glen Ridge, New Jersey. Acting career. Cruise in 1985 at a reception hosted by First Lady Nancy Reagan at the White House. 1980s, breakthrough and stardom. At age 18, with the blessing of his mother and stepfather, Cruise moved to New York City to pursue an acting career. After working as a busboy in New York, he went to Los Angeles to try out for television roles. He signed with CAA and began acting in films. He made his film debut in a bit part in the 1981 film Endless Love, followed by a major supporting role as a crazed military academy student in Taps later that year. Cruise was originally supposed to appear as a background actor, but his role was expanded after impressing director Harold Beckert. In 1983, Cruise was part of the ensemble cast of Francis Ford Coppola's The Outsiders. That same year he appeared in All the Right Moves and Risky Business, which has been described as a Generation X classic and a career maker for Tom Cruise. He also played the male lead in the Ridley Scott film Legend, released in 1985. By 1980 SIX's Top Gun, his status as a superstar had been cemented. Tom Cruise at the 61st Academy Awards in 1989. Cruise followed up Top Gun with Martin Scorsese's The Color of Money, 1986, which came out the same year, and which paired him with Paul Newman. Their chemistry won praise among critics, with the Washington Post writing, "One of the subtle achievements of both Cruise's and Newman's performances is that you feel that both of them are genuinely top-notch pool hustlers." In 1988, Cruise starred in Cocktail, a film that was a box office success but failed with critics. His performance earned him a nomination for the Razzie Award for Worst Actor. Later that year he starred with Dustin Hoffman in Barry Levinson's Rain Man, which won the Academy Award for Best Film and Cruise the Kansas City Film Critics Circle Award for Best Supporting Actor. In 1989, Cruise portrayed real-life paralyzed Vietnam War veteran Ron Kovic in Oliver Stone's war epic Born on the 4th of July. Film critic Roger Ebert of the Chicago Sun-Times wrote, "Nothing Cruise has done will prepare you for what he does in Born on the 4th of July. His performance is so good that the movie lives through it." Stone is able to make his statement with Cruise's face and voice and doesn't need to put everything into the dialogue. The performance earned him a Golden Globe Award for Best Actor, Motion Picture Drama, the Chicago Film Critics Association Award for Best Actor, the People's Choice Award for Favorite Motion Picture Actor, a nomination for BAFTA Award for Best Actor in a Leading Role, and Cruise's first Best Actor Academy Award nomination. 1990s, dramatic roles. Cruise's next films were Days of Thunder, 1990, and Far and Away, 1992, both of which co-starred then-wife Nicole Kidman as his love interest, followed by the legal thriller The Firm, which was a critical and commercial success. In 1994, Cruise starred along with Brad Pitt, Antonio Banderas and Christian Slater in Neil Jordan's Interview with the Vampire, a gothic drama/horror film that was based on Anne Rice's best-selling novel. The film was well received, although Rice was initially quite outspoken in her criticism of Cruise having been cast in the film, as Julian Sands was her first choice. Upon seeing the film, however, she paid $7,740 for a two-page ad in Daily Variety praising his performance and apologizing for her previous doubts about him. In 1996, Cruise starred as super spy Ethan Hunt in the reboot of Mission: Impossible, which he also produced. The film was directed by Brian De Palma and was a box office success, although it received criticism regarding the Jim Phelps character being a villain despite being a protagonist of the original television series. Film critic Stephen Holden of The New York Times praised Cruise's performance, declaring Tom Cruise has found the perfect superhero character on which to graft his breathlessly gung-ho screen personality. In the same year, Cruise took on the title role in Cameron Crowe's sports drama Jerry Maguire, playing a sports agent in search of love. He stars opposite Renee Zellweger and Cuba Gooding Jr. The film was a massive financial success, with Cruise earning a Golden Globe Award for Best Actor, Motion Picture Musical or Comedy, and his second nomination for an Academy Award for Best Actor. In 1999, Cruise co-starred with Kidman in Stanley Kubrick's erotic and psychological drama film Eyes Wide Shut. Peter Bradshaw of The Guardian praised both Cruise and Kidman on their performances, writing, "Cruise in particular lays himself open in that fiercely committed way that he tries everything as an actor." That same year he took a rare supporting role as a motivational speaker, Frank T.J. Mackey, in Paul Thomas Anderson's Magnolia, 1999. Rolling Stone film critic Peter Travers heaped praise on Cruise, writing, "Cruise is a revelation, fully deserving of the shower of superlatives coming his way. Cruise seeds with the chaotic energy of a wounded animal, he's devastating." For his performance he received another Golden Globe and nomination for an Academy Award. 2000's established career. In 2000, Cruise returned as Ethan Hunt in the second installment of the Mission: Impossible films, Mission: Impossible 2. The film was helmed by Hong Kong director John Woo and branded with his gun fu style. It continued the series' success at the box office, taking in $547 million worldwide. Unlike its predecessor, it was the highest-grossing film of the year, but had a mixed critical reception. Cruise received an MTV Movie Award for Best Male Performance for the film. His next 5 films were major critical and commercial successes. The following year, Cruise starred in the romantic thriller Vanilla Sky, 2001, with Cameron Diaz and Penelope Cruz. In 2002, Cruise starred in the dystopian science fiction action film Minority Report, which was directed by Steven Spielberg and based on the science fiction short story by Philip K. Dick. Cruise at the 2007 London Film Festival for the premiere of Lions for Lambs. In 2003, he starred in Edward Zwick's period action drama The Last Samurai, for which he received a Golden Globe nomination for Best Actor. In 2004, Cruise received critical acclaim for his performance as Vincent in Collateral. The critical consensus states that, driven by director Michael Mann's trademark visuals and a lean, villainous performance from Tom Cruise, Collateral is a stylish and compelling war thriller. In 2005, Cruise worked again with Steven Spielberg in War of the Worlds, a loose adaptation of the H.G. Wells novel of the same name, which became the 4th highest-grossing film of the year with $591.4 million worldwide. Also in 2005, he was a nominee for the People's Choice Award for Favorite Male Movie Star and the winner of the MTV Generation Award. Cruise was nominated for 7 Saturn Awards between 2002 and 2009, winning once. 9 of the 10 films he starred in during the decade made over $100 million at the box office. In 2006, he returned to his role as Ethan Hunt in the 3rd installment of the Mission: Impossible film series, Mission: Impossible 3. The film was more positively received by critics than the previous films in the series and grossed nearly $400 million at the box office. In 2007, Cruise took a rare supporting role for the second time in Lions for Lambs, which was a commercial disappointment. This was followed by an unrecognizable appearance as Les Grossman in the 2008 comedy Tropic Thunder with Ben Stiller, Jack Black, and Robert Downey Jr. This performance earned Cruise a Golden Globe nomination. Cruise played the central role in the historical thriller Valkyrie, released on December 25, 2008, to box office success. 2010's action star. In March 2010, Cruise completed filming the action comedy Night and Day, in which he reteamed with former co-star Cameron Diaz. The film was released on June 23, 2010. On February 9, 2010, Cruise confirmed that he would star in Mission: Impossible, Ghost Protocol, the 4th installment in the Mission: Impossible series. The film was released in December 2011 to high critical acclaim and box office success. Unadjusted for ticket price inflation, it was Cruise's biggest commercial success to that date. Cruise at the 2013 San Diego Comic-Con. On May 6, 2011, Cruise was awarded a humanitarian award from the Simon Wiesenthal Center and its Museum of Tolerance for his work as a dedicated philanthropist. In mid-2011, Cruise started shooting the movie Rock of Ages, 2012, in which he played the fictional character Stacy Jacks. The film was released in June 2012 and was a rare box office misstep for Cruise. Cruise, however, received positive reviews for his performance, with Variety's film critic Justin Chang writing, channeling the likes of Axl Rose and Keith Richards with his tattoos, heavy furs, and even heavier eyeshadow. Cruise clearly relishes the opportunity to play against type even as he sends up his world's biggest movie star identity, displaying a cock of the rock strut that viewers haven't seen since his turn. In Magnolia, Cruise starred as Jack Reacher in the film adaptation of British author Lee Child's 2005 novel One Shot. The film was released on December 21, 2012. It met with positive reviews from critics and was a box office success, grossing $217 million worldwide. In 2013, he starred in the science fiction film Oblivion, based on director Joseph Kosinski's graphic novel of the same name. The film met with mixed reviews and grossed $286 million worldwide. It also starred Morgan Freeman and Olga Kurylenko. In 2014, Cruise starred in the science fiction action film Edge of Tomorrow, which received positive reviews and grossed over $370 million. In 2015, Cruise returned as Ethan Hunt in the fifth installment of the Mission Impossible series, Mission Impossible: Rogue Nation, which he also produced. Returning cast members included Simon Pegg as Benji and Jeremy Renner as William Brandt, with Christopher McQuarrie as director. The film earned high critical acclaim and was a commercial success. Cruise starred in the 2017 reboot of Boris Karloff's 1932 horror movie The Mummy. The new film, also titled The Mummy, received negative reviews and flopped at the box office. In 2018, Cruise again reprised Ethan Hunt in the sixth film in his franchise, Mission Impossible: Fallout. The film was more positively received by critics than the previous films in the series and grossed over $791 million at the box office. Unadjusted for ticket price inflation, it was Cruise's biggest commercial success to date. 2020's franchise films. In May 2020, it was reported that Cruise would be starring in and producing a movie shot in outer space. Doug Liman would be directing, writing, and co-producing. Both will fly to the International Space Station as part of a future Axiom space mission in a SpaceX Dragon 2 spacecraft. In May 2021, Cruise protested against the Hollywood Foreign Press Association, HFPA, by returning all three of his Golden Globe Awards in light of controversies surrounding the HFPA, particularly its lack of diversity, specifically no black members, and ethical questions related to financial benefits to some of its members. In 2022, Cruise reprised his role as Captain Pete Maverick Mitchell in Top Gun: Maverick, a film which he also produced. The film premiered at the Cannes Film Festival, where Cruise earned an Honorary Palme d'Or. The film was released to widespread critical praise, with many reviewers deeming it superior to its predecessor. The film broke several box office records upon its release, earning over $1 billion, becoming the highest-grossing film of his career. Cruise earned $100 million for the film, when combining ticket sales, his salary, and his cut of home entertainment rentals and streaming revenues. Cruise reprised his role as Ethan Hunt in Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning, which was released in theaters on July 12, 2023. The film received critical acclaim, but was a box office disappointment due to the box office and cultural phenomenon dubbed Barbenheimer, which was the same-day release of Christopher Nolan's historical epic film Oppenheimer and Greta Gerwig's fantasy comedy Barbie. Peter DeBridge of Variety praised Dead Reckoning for its performances, action sequences, and a satisfying ending, writing, "This outing may be one half of a two-part finale, but it gives audiences enough closure to stand on its own." In February 2024, it was announced that Cruise would star in a new film directed by Alejandro G. Iñárritu. This is set to be his first film at Warner Bros. Pictures in 10 years. Production. Cruise partnered with his former talent agent Paula Wagner to form Cruise/Wagner Productions in 1993, and the company has since co-produced several of Cruise's films, the first being Mission Impossible in 1996, which was also Cruise's first project as a producer. In addition, Cruise has produced films in which he does not appear in, namely The Others, Shattered Glass, Elizabethtown, Narc, Ask the Dust, and Without Limits. Cruise in 2016. Cruise is noted as having negotiated some of the most lucrative film deals in Hollywood and was described in 2005 by Hollywood economist Edward J. Epstein as one of the most powerful and richest forces in Hollywood. Epstein argues that Cruise is one of the few producers, the others being George Lucas, Steven Spielberg and Jerry Bruckheimer, who are regarded as able to guarantee the success of a billion-dollar film franchise. Epstein also contends that the public obsession with Cruise's tabloid controversies obscures full appreciation of Cruise's exceptional commercial prowess. Break with Paramount. On August 22, 2006, Paramount Pictures announced it was ending its 14-year relationship with Cruise. In the Wall Street Journal, chairman of Viacom, Paramount's parent company, Sumner Redstone cited the economic damage to Cruise's value as an actor and producer from his controversial public behavior and views. Cruise/Wagner Productions responded that Paramount's announcement was a face-saving move after the production company had successfully sought alternative financing from private equity firms. Industry analysts such as Edward J. Epstein commented that the real reason for the split was most likely Paramount's discontent over Cruise/Wagner's exceptionally large share of DVD sales from the Mission Impossible franchise. Management of United Artists. In November 2006, Cruise and Paula Wagner announced that they had taken over the film studio United Artists. Cruise acts as a producer and star in films for United Artists, while Wagner serves as UA's chief executive. Production began in 2007 of Valkyrie, a thriller based on the July 20, 1944, assassination attempt against Adolf Hitler. The film was acquired in March 2007 by United Artists. On March 21, 2007, Cruise signed to play Klaus von Stauffenberg, the protagonist. This project marked the second production to be greenlighted since Cruise and Wagner took control of United Artists. The first was its inaugural film, Lions for Lambs, directed by Robert Redford and starring Redford, Meryl Streep and Cruise. In August 2008, Wagner stepped down from her position at United Artists. She retained her stake in UA, which combined with Cruise's share amounted to 30% of the studio. This resignation dissolved the longtime partnership between Cruise and Wagner, and by this point Cruise has mostly run all of his future film productions under the name TC Productions. Return to Paramount. Cruise began working with Paramount again as a producer and star with Mission Impossible, Ghost Protocol, without Wagner, which was a critical and commercial success. He and Wagner would collaborate for the final time on the modestly successful Jack Reacher series, also for Paramount. Move to Warner Bros. Discovery. In January 2024, it was announced that his production company was forming a new strategic partnership with Warner Bros. Discovery to develop and produce original and franchise films. Scientology advocacy. Cruise was converted to Scientology by his first wife, Mimi Rogers, in 1986 and became an outspoken advocate for the Church of Scientology in the 2000s. His involvement in the organization was leaked by the tabloid Star in 1990, and he publicly announced he followed Scientology in a 1992 interview with Barbara Walters. Cruise has said that Scientology, and study tech in particular, helped him overcome his dyslexia. Cruise has been a close friend of Scientology leader David Miscavige since the 1980s. Several years after Cruise started studying Scientology, the organization's leaders promised to share some Scientology secrets with him, including information about the prophet Xenu. According to Janet Reitman's book Inside Scientology, the story of America's most secretive religion, Cruise freaked out and took a step back from the church to work on the film Eyes Wide Shut. In 1999, Marty Rathbun was sent by David Miscavige to convince Cruise to return to the church and continue his studies. Cruise later sparked controversy in the 2000s with his efforts to promote Scientology. In the aftermath of 9/11, Cruise co-founded and raised donations for Downtown Medical to offer New York City rescue workers detoxification therapy, drawing criticism from medical professionals and firefighters. In late 2004, David Miscavige created the Scientology Freedom Medal of Valor and awarded it to Cruise for this work. Former Scientologist Paul Haggis has claimed that Cruise attempted to convert several celebrities to Scientology, including James Packer, Victoria and David Beckham, Jada Pinkett, Will Smith, and Steven Spielberg. Since 2008, Cruise has restricted interviewers from asking him about Scientology. Political lobbying. As well as promoting various programs to introduce people to Scientology, Cruise campaigned for Scientology to be recognized as a religion in Europe. In 2005, the Council of Paris revealed that Cruise had lobbied French Interior Minister Nicolas Sarkozy and Senate President Jean-Claude Gaudin. They described Cruise as a militant spokesman for Scientology and barred any further dealings with him. Controversies. Criticism of psychiatry. See also, anti-psychiatry. In January 2004, Cruise said, "I think psychiatry should be outlawed." In 2005, he criticized actress Brooke Shields for using the drug Paxil, paroxetine, an antidepressant which she used to recover from postpartum depression after the birth of her first daughter in 2003. Cruise asserted that there is no such thing as a chemical imbalance and that psychiatry is a form of pseudoscience. In response, Shields argued that Cruise should stick to saving the world from aliens and let women who are experiencing postpartum depression decide what treatment options are best for them. This led to a heated argument between Cruise and Matt Lauer on NBC's Today on June 24, 2005. Medical authorities view Cruise's comments as furthering the social stigma of mental illness. From The Lancet, he may be right that psychotropic drugs are overused, sometimes misused, and that lifestyle changes and exercise for depression can be helpful. But he is wrong, as a celebrity, to add to the burden of those with a mental illness, who often fear seeking or continuing treatment because of the stigma still attached to their condition. Shields called Cruise's comments a disservice to mothers everywhere. In late August 2006, Cruise apologized in person to Shields for his comments. Scientology is well known for its opposition to mainstream psychiatry and psychoactive drugs that are routinely prescribed for treatment. It was reported that Cruise's anti-psychiatry actions led to a rift with director Steven Spielberg. Spielberg had reportedly mentioned in Cruise's presence the name of a doctor friend who prescribed psychiatric medication. Shortly thereafter, the doctor's office was picketed by Scientologists, reportedly angering Spielberg. YouTube video removal. Main article, Project Chronology, Tom Cruise video. On January 15, 2008, a video produced by the Church of Scientology featuring an interview with Cruise was posted on YouTube by the anonymous linked group Project Chronology, showing Cruise discussing what being a Scientologist means to him. The Church of Scientology said the video had been pirated and edited, and was taken from a 3-hour video produced for members of Scientology. YouTube removed the Cruise video from their site under threat of litigation. It was subsequently reinstated on the site, and as of June 2020, the video has achieved over 15 million views. Purported influence. In March 2004, his publicist of 14 years, Pat Kingsley, resigned. Cruise's next publicist was Leanne DeVette, his sister, who was herself a Scientologist. She served in that role until November 2005. DeVette was replaced with Paul Block from the publicity firm Rogers & Cowan. Such restructuring was seen as a move to curtail publicity of his views on Scientology, as well as the controversy surrounding his relationship with Katie Holmes. Lawrence Wright's 2013 book Going Clear, Scientology and the Prison of Belief, and Alex Gibney's 2015 television documentary adaptation of the same name cast a spotlight on Cruise's role in Scientology. The book and the film both allege that the Scientology organization groomed romantic partners for Cruise and that Cruise used Sea Org and Rehabilitation Project force workers as a source of free labor. In the film, Cruise's former auditor Marty Rathbun claims that wife Nicole Kidman was wiretapped on Cruise's suggestion, which Cruise's lawyer denies. Cruise's ex-girlfriend Nazanin Boniadi later compared the Scientology organization's auditioning of women to date Cruise and experiences with him to white slavery.